On Real Rescues today, a lifeboat and 2 helicopters are scrambled to save a nighttime swimmer out of his depth and on the rocks.
Yeah, Rescue 169 in sight. They're going to winch a casualty up. We'll come in and get you there.
And an emergency call becomes a lifeline as a son keeps his father alive with advice from a paramedic.
I need him to pump hard and fast, twice a second. And I need him to do it 400 times.
How many times?
400 times.
Hello and welcome to Real Rescues. We're in the Hampshire Police Control Room where 999 calls are taken and rescues are set in motion. It's a chance for us and you to put some faces to the calm voices that we hear when we're looking for help in extreme circumstances.
And some advice that could save your life. What to do if you're ever first on the scene or you're caught up in a motorway crash. It's not as obvious as you might think.
The emergency services will rescue people whatever the circumstances. Sometimes, though, their own stupidity they need rescuing from themselves. It's 11 p.m. on a wild and windy October night in the Bristol Channel. The independent Portishead lifeboat has been called out by Swansea Coast Guard. The message is, bodies in the water.
Hey.
There's no time to lose.
We didn't have very much information at all. It was really a person swimming from the beach at Clevedon to his hotel. Get there and start searching for him was as much information as we had. My priority was to get somewhere in the area where we thought the guy could be. All we knew was he'd gone from the beach at Clevedon and was swimming towards Portishead.
This stretch of water is among the most difficult in the world. It's where the rivers Severn, Avon and Usk all meet the tidal currents of the Bristol Channel. Local knowledge is essential. The crews of the lifeboat have it in abundance. This nighttime swimmer has put his life in danger. He's attempting a half-a-mile swim to his hotel on the shore. He's been drinking, it's cold and very dark.
I had one crew member with a spotlight over the bow of the boat and one searching between the boat and the shore. We were about 60, 80 feet off the shore, searching at slow speed towards the pier at Clevedon.
Local Coast Guards and a police helicopter have also been called to the area.
As we approached the pier, the Coast Guards from Clevedon said they could hear him shouting, at which point we stopped the engines, took our helmets off and could hear the guy. We'd actually gone past him because he'd got himself 50 feet up the beach where we didn't expect him to be.
The police spotter helicopter is now heading to the scene. These pictures are from their thermal imaging camera. Suddenly, a huddled figure comes into view. It must be the swimmer. Thanks to the camera and the night sunlight, pilots PC Karen Elliott and Phil Scott can see everything and guide the lifeboat crew to the casualty.
We turned around, went back up channel a few hundred yards and managed to pick him out in one of the searchlights. And within seconds of us seeing him there, the police helicopter identified him as well. And that's when we started the rescue of putting somebody ashore.
The casualty has been found, but he's on quite tough terrain, slippery rocks at the foot of a cliff. Dave decides to put Adam Forrest ashore to start some initial first aid.
The important thing from our point of view was to get a crew member to him, assess his needs, assess any injuries, etc. Very difficult to come in on the anchor there because of the nature of the terrain. We managed to drop Adam off onto the rocks and he had quite a job getting to the casualty.
It's a rocky shore down there. It took a bit of doing because it was dark, because they're sharp rocks and because they can be slippery. I took with me a blanket and a first aid kit, picked my way across the rocks.
Quebec 99, Quebec 99, Portishead Lifeboat, over.
Calling you Quebec 99, go ahead, over.
Yeah, Quebec 99, this is Portishead Lifeboat. That's our crewman ashore with the casualty. Just assessing situation. We'll give us sit rep, over.
Portishead Lifeboat, Quebec 99, roger. Yes, we have him on thermal image, thank you.
Roger.
He's reached the man, but now Adam's problem is how to get him off the rocks.
I don't think evacuation from the shore will be possible. If we do bring him on board the lifeboat, we'll be landing him on the beach between the pier and the slipway and request an ambulance to meet us. Over.
He was conscious, he was okay. He was just in his pants and had been in the water and out of the water for quite a while.
The casualty is at risk of developing hypothermia. He's semi-naked and has been in the water for some time.
I wrapped him in a blanket and had to get close to him to conserve body heat, share body heat with him. And what I was doing this, you're making an assessment of the casualty, trying to work out what state he's in, what's happened, and the fact that he was just in his pants made it clear that there was no way I was going to be able to get him back off the rocks and onto the lifeboat. His feet would have been cut, his hands would have been cut, and if he'd fallen, I had a dry suit on, he had no protective clothing.
The man's condition could deteriorate if they don't get him off these rocks soon. It's going to be a job for the air-sea rescue.
Oh, we'll find out what happens with that rescue later. Let's find out what's going on in the control room this morning. Natasha, I think, can speak to me. Are you OK to talk, Natasha?
Yes, yeah.
You've had an incident with a firework. What's been going on?
Basically, quite horrifically, an elderly lady's called us this morning telling us that she's had a firework put through her front door. It's caused some damage to the hallway area, and straight away, obviously, we've got police on scene to that because it is a very serious incident.
Yeah, very dangerous. So it was lit and they put it through the
yes,
the letterbox,
causing damage to inside the address. I mean, irrelevant of who it's done to, it's a very serious incident.
Yes, absolutely. Other things going on, you've got dealing with a couple of burglaries as well.
Yes, a few burglaries have come in a short time ago. One being in the Southampton area, business premises has been basically ransacked. The owners have come in the morning to find it in complete disarray. They can't tell us what's been taken as yet, just purely because of the mess that's been
OK, we might come back to you later and see how that elderly...
Yeah.
How's she doing? Do you know how she is?
Not as yet. The officers are obviously dealing with her initially to make sure she's OK.
We'll come back to you later.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
What a terrible thing. What kind of person sticks a firework through an old lady's letterbox? Isn't it awful? OK, well, we featured some remarkable 999 calls during the series. They reveal that with the help of callers in rooms like this, people are able to do extraordinary things in extreme stress. This is certainly true of Tom and his girlfriend Cheryl, who phoned 999 when his father collapsed at home.
Is he conscious?
Is he conscious? No, he's not.
Is he breathing?
He's breathing. No. No.
OK, just tell everyone to calm down. I'm going to tell you how to help him, OK? Did anyone see what happened?
Did anyone see what happened?
Did anyone see him go down?
He just suddenly was hurt.
OK. Did he choke?
Did he choke? No.
OK, I'm going to tell you what to do, OK? Now I need him flat on the floor, because if he's not breathing, we've got to help him.
Okay.
Right, have him flat on the floor.
On the floor, yep.
Take out anything from under his head, any pillows, anything like that. Is there anything in his mouth?
Is there anything in his mouth? Blood.
OK, I need you to tilt his head to the side
To the side.
and clean his mouth out.
Clean his mouth.
OK, all right, and as soon as the blood is clear, I need him back on his back,
Back on
OK?
his back.
And now I need someone to see if he's breathing.
Is he breathing? He's trying to breathe.
OK, can you feel any breath coming out?
He's panting.
Panting now again. OK, how often between each breath?
How often between his breaths? Long breath. Long breath.
Long breaths. OK, I'm going to tell you how to help him.
Okay.
All right, now I need somebody to do this, so relay this message to the chap that's there, OK? I need him to place the heel of his hand
Place the heel of your hand
on the breastbone in the centre of his chest, right between his nipples,
Right between his nipples.
the other hand on top,
Other hand on top.
and I need him to push down firmly, 2
Inches.
inches with the heel of his hand touching the chest.
The heel of your hand touching his chest.
OK, now I need him to pump hard and fast,
Hard and fast.
twice a second,
Twice a second.
and I need him to do it 400 times.
How many times?
400 times.
Tom and Cheryl have joined us here 400 times. Just listening to that, I can hear the fear in your voice, but Tom, to actually be having to do that on your own father must have been terrifying.
It wasn't really. I wasn't fazed by the whole situation.
Really?
I just went in and just did what had to be done. I didn't really think about it until I was in the car following the ambulance. Then it hit me that I was actually in shock and realised what had just happened.
Yeah.
At the time, I was just doing what had to be done.
And how come you... Who else was in the room?
Tom's mum was in the room and his sister was upstairs. I think she came down.
So how come you ended up on the phone?
Tom ran to his dad when his mum called for help. He ran to his dad and I just grabbed the phone and called for the ambulance.
And now you're relaying information.
Yes.
Which is, you know, which is worrying and frightening all at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but you seem very in control. And we should talk about the blood as well. We were talking about there's blood there, but we should say that you're not too worried. It turned out it wasn't blood.
No, it turned out he had a few glasses of port just before he collapsed, so he was coughing up the port he'd just drank. We obviously thought it was blood at the time.
It was blood at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you would do, wouldn't you, under the circumstances? Yeah. And with the CPR, like, had you done it before?
No. I did a 999 training course many years ago with Michael Burke, the TV series.
So which was like this, not as good as this, but like this, yeah.
Yeah. But that was many years ago, and I haven't done anything since. Just
going to say, the TV programmes like this do raise awareness. So you've done a little bit of CPR, and you get into it, and you've taken control at this stage because you were having to relay information.
Yeah. I didn't really have to think about what I was doing. I just followed
repeat
what Nicky was saying on the other end of the phone.
All right, Sebastian. Well, let's see how the call developed from there.
If he starts breathing, tell me straight away.
You need to tell me as soon as you start breathing. Oh, he's breathing.
He is breathing. Is he breathing regularly?
Is he breathing regularly? Once every 2 seconds. Once every 2 seconds.
Any changes with his breathing? If it slows down any more than it is, tell me straight away, all right?
Is he breathing? No, stop. He stopped.
He stopped. Back on his back then. Okay, we're going to do mouth to mouth this time.
Now, Tom.
Okay.
Tom, mouth to mouth.
So he needs to tilt his head back.
Head back.
Pinch his nose closed.
Pinch his nose closed.
Cover his mouth with... Yeah, that's it, exactly. And blow 2 regular breaths into the lungs.
He's breathing.
He's breathing, is he? How often is he breathing, though?
How often is he breathing? Once every 5 seconds. Once every 5 seconds.
Right, OK, that's not enough. So we need to do these breaths, OK? So we need him to do 2 regular breaths. About a second each.
About a second each.
And just watch for the chest to rise with each breath. Just do the 2 breaths. And now we're going to go back to do the compressions, OK? Exactly how he's doing before, but I want him to do it 100 times.
OK, now 100 times, OK?
The ambulance should be outside.
Yeah, the ambulance.
OK, just tell the chap to keep going with what he's doing until they're there to take over.
Right, the ambulance are clear in.
They're inside, are they? OK, all right, I'll leave you with them.
What an extraordinary thing to listen to. Was it like listening back to it?
It's strange. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. We've listened to it a few times before.
Yeah.
The show, but yeah, the first time we heard it was a bit nerve-wracking.
OK, so the ambulance crew come in and finally you're relieved. Because actually doing 400 chest presses is actually quite physically tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, when the paramedics came in, they did offer to take over. They asked me if I wanted to continue doing it or if they could take over, and I said, yeah, please take over, because my arms were getting tired from doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you actually got... So he was then loaded into the ambulance, rather, and away you went, and you followed the ambulance to hospital, is that right?
Yeah.
So, and it stopped on the way, though?
Yeah, it did. Along the bypass, it pulled over, and kind of I assumed that the worst had happened and that he died, but he hadn't. No.
I thought he might have... they had to shock him again. But...
Yes, in actual fact, that's what they did. You haven't found that out since. No. They had to shock him again en route to the hospital. And we should say now, how is he?
Very well.
He's very well. He's still his grumpy old self.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had no adverse effects from the whole scenario, so it's just like himself, like it never happened.
All right, smashing. And the reason he's not here today...
Yeah, he didn't want to appear on TV.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
He just didn't fancy it.
He says he's not feeling well. He did say he wanted to go, but...
All right, but this whole process, obviously very, very emotional, and actually turned out to quite bonding for the two of you, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it kind of makes you realise how you feel about people.
Oh, look at your little face.
Yeah.
So what happened? Go on.
I went away travelling for 3 months. That's the whole reason we moved back to my parents' house.
Yeah.
So it was lucky that we did, really. I went away for 3 months to South America, then Cheryl joined me in the last 3 weeks, and I proposed to her in front of Iguazu Falls.
Oh,
I said yes.
You said yes?
Yeah.
So have you got a date, or are you going to leave it long into the distance?
No, 24th of September next year.
And the hurry is because?
I wanted to push it back a few years, but my dad says he was on borrowed time, so we had to bring it forward.
Make sure we don't lose it. All right, look, Sebastian, amazing phone call, amazing the way you work together as a team. I think you will make an ideal team, and thanks very much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In a few moments on Real Rescues, Joe Crowley meets Fred and Iris together for 67 years, and thanks to Mark Aylett from the ambulance service, still going strong. And we're back with Air Sea Rescue as they race to save a man stranded on the rocks, suffering from hypothermia. One of the interesting things about being here in this control room, actually some really strange coincidences happen. I've just checked Karen's off the radio. She's been talking a moment ago. Something funny happened to you. You got a call about a car. What happened?
There'd been a car that had gone into a ditch in Leon Solent in Gosport, and we were on the radio. I dispatched a traffic officer to it. Luckily, all the occupants were out of the vehicle, and when they gave me the vehicle registration, it happened to be my old car that had gone into the ditch.
Were you upset about it? I mean, I know it's your old car and everything.
A little bit. It was my first brand new one that I'd ever bought, and they made the lad of the car say sorry over the air for crashing my car.
What, so he'd crashed your car and then he had to offer you an apology?
Yes, even though it wasn't mine anymore.
I guess you don't get many apologies here, do you?
No, not a lot, and it's nice sometimes just to say sorry or thank you.
And it wasn't the first time it had been crashed, this car, I understand?
No, unfortunately not.
Great to talk to you, thank you.
Thank you.
Nick.
Drivers travel millions of miles on motorways every year. They're the safest roads in the country, but when an accident does happen at speed, it's terrifying for all concerned.
Might go 16, so I might take all through.
It's a bright morning and a busy start for Traffic Officer Rob Bryn.
We've got a road traffic collision on the A27, junction with the Eastern Road in Portsmouth. We've got no information on injuries, just a lot of debris in the road and badly damaged vehicles.
There are often accidents on this stretch where two main roads converge, creating 4 lanes of traffic. When Rob arrives, it appears that 3 separate cars have gone into the back of each other in a chain of destruction. At the end of that chain is Len Lamplu.
Well, all that happened, as far as I'm concerned, I was the last car. I was coming along the next one behind us, straight into the back of him, sadly. That's how it goes, doesn't it?
There have been several injured, including 2 female passengers in the back of Len's car.
Basically, the lady in the driver's side rear has got facial injuries where she struck the seat in front. The passenger side rear has got neck pain from whiplash. Patient in the front car's got neck pain, so unfortunately everyone needs proper assessment before we can remove them and whatever.
The medics decide the driver of the red car is complaining of enough neck pain to make removing him a priority. To avoid injuring his neck any further, Tim Pringle and his fire crews will have to cut him out of his car.
When the windscreens are cut, the glass shards coming off becomes very fine, which is then carcinogenic into the lungs. The water is used primarily to stop the dust getting into the atmosphere. It just dampens everything down and makes the scene far safer. We always try and take the roof off because that allows us to have maximum space around the casualty. We then can keep his orientation the same instead of having to twist the body.
While the firemen set about freeing the trapped driver, extra help for the medical team has arrived in the form of the air ambulance, which has a volunteer doctor on board today.
He's able to examine someone's spine and able to clear C-spine. He's able to confirm whether there's any injury or not. That way, it's going to save a lot of resources. Otherwise, everyone's going to have their own ambulance and a spinal board.
Many people got into the car and grabbing hold of clothing, and then he was then carefully slid onto the longboard.
The driver will be taken to hospital for a full checkover. All 3 emergency services, along with the vehicle recovery crew, are having to work hard to sort out this situation.
From our perspective, basically, we're just trying to make the road safe a little bit now. Let's get a bit of a circus here with all the vehicles, making sure everybody's safe. So at the moment, as you can see, all the rubberneckers are slowing down to have a look at what's going on.
Air Ambulance Dr. Phil Hyde takes a thorough look at the passengers in Len's car to decide if they too will need to be cut out.
It's a shunt road traffic accident at fairly high speed. You can see on the vehicle there's quite a lot of deformation. And however, the 3 occupants, so it's a good vehicle, and the 3 occupants are only minorly injured, to be honest. The lady in the back has just got some back pain, so we're just going to have it checked over at Queen Alexandra Hospital in Portsmouth.
The 3 cars involved are brought together once more to be taken to the scrapyard. Fortunately, it looks like the outcome of this incident could have been far worse for all concerned.
lots of interesting questions to ask Neville, who's a road policing officer. We just saw in that film a crash involving 3 cars. What do you do if you're involved in a crash on the motorway? What is the first thing that we should do as members of the public?
First thing is personal safety. Don't put yourself in any more danger than you're already in being on the motorway. If you can get out of your car and get on the hard shoulder safely, do so. If you can drive your car to the hard shoulder safely, do so. If you can't, get out of the vehicle, stand behind the barrier, wait for us to arrive on the scene and get you safely across to the hard shoulder.
And what if you're in lane 2, for example, when obviously the hard shoulders are quite far away, aren't they?
If you're marooned in lane 2, it's difficult because cars, in theory, could pass both sides, and the best advice then is probably stay in your car. Hopefully the traffic will slow or stop and we'll be on scene fairly quickly. OK,
and when you get to the hard shoulder, how should you park your car, if you can get there?
If you can get your car on the hard shoulder, get to the left as far as you can and angle your wheel slightly so that if you were hit from behind, unlikely, but if you were...
So you literally go like that with your steering wheel?
The car would then be jinked up into the left rather than out in the carriageway.
OK, and you've also got a top tip, never to face... What do? You face the traffic, you don't turn your back on the traffic.
Never turn your back on the traffic, yeah.
Why is that?
Because obviously it's the danger coming towards you, and if you can see the danger and perhaps have contact with the drivers coming towards you, you may have some recognition that you're there. But if you can't see the cars, they can't, you know, you're in obviously more danger.
So if you're out of your car, you're on the hard shoulder, you look at the traffic, and presumably if you get eye contact, then they realise...
You'd like to think so, yeah. But certainly don't turn your back on the traffic and make yourself safe at all times. OK.
What about telling... Who should you call at this point?
Well, obviously you want to call the emergency services, fire, police or ambulance, or a combination of all 3.
Right.
If you feel a need to call a relative or family, that's fine, but we would ask you not to get them to come to the scene as moral support, because that just adds to the complications and more cars on the hard shoulder and so on. So.
And also, I mean, you might not actually know where you are, so how do you tell you, for example, exactly where you are?
Indeed, that's a common problem in crashes, where the crash has occurred, so we would ask drivers, if possible, to let us know where they've had the incident, and for that they can look at marker posts, SOS boxes, bridges, the nearest junctions, all the signage. Let us know where they are so we can get the help to them as soon as we can. OK, so very interesting. So get safe, put your car on the hard shoulder with the wheel down and face the traffic. Absolutely, and obviously let us know where you are if you can, exactly.
OK, and don't necessarily call your family because you
might necessarily,
really
no, because they obviously get upset and worried and might come to the scene in a state of worry and panic, and yeah, it's the complication of things. OK, really good tips. Thank you very much for that. Now, when we were last with the Portishead Lifeboat in the Bristol Channel, crewman Adam Forrest was looking after a man who'd been stranded on rocks after deciding it was a good idea to go for a nighttime swim.
Adam's very concerned that the casualty is about to develop hypothermia. He can't make it back to the lifeboat, so Adam picks his own way back for another blanket. It's then that he and Dave decide this is a job for the search and rescue helicopter based at RAF Chivenor in North Devon.
I suggest 169 keeps coming to winch, and he is getting cold. We will put extra blankets on him, over.
Oh, this is Swansea Coast Guard. Yes, Roger. If you think that is the only means of evacuation, we will keep him coming if there's no other means of it.
The helicopter, Rescue 169, is already airborne. It was scrambled by Coast Guard coordinators in Swansea who anticipated it might be needed.
Out to you. Rescue 169, Swansea, did you copy that?
169, all copy. ETA, yes. Passed over.
The journey time from Chivenor to here is approximately 40-45 minutes. So that meant 45 minutes of sitting with the casualty, trying to keep him warm, keep him talking, make sure he stayed conscious, and all the time monitoring his condition, so that if it did get any worse, I could take the appropriate action.
Mobile lifeboat, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, it's a casualty, Adam.
He's fine. We're wrapped up now. I think he's warming up a little bit. Yeah, he's got me balaclava on, so I'm cold. He's all right.
Rescue 169 is not far away now. Down on the lifeboat, coxswain Dave Herbert is concerned they may be in the downdraft from the giant helicopter's rotors.
Rescue 169, Portishead Lifeboat, over. Yes, here we have the casualty and our crew member illuminated on the shore there. We're just standing off. We will stand off further if you require while you are winching, over.
169, that's all copies, Roger. We'll take the casualty up from the all crew member, over.
That's it, Roger. We'll be here with our deck lights on, standing just off the casualty.
Soon afterwards, the helicopter arrives, filmed by the police helicopter hovering above.
Lifeboat mobile, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Rescue 169 in sight. They're going to winch the casualty up. We'll come in and get you there.
The entire air-sea rescue operation is illuminated by the police helicopter's night sunlights. Winchman Bunny Warren can be seen as he's carefully lowered down towards the rocks, the lifeboat standing off with its lights trained on Adam and the casualty. They keep complete radio silence so the helicopter and winchman can stay in contact. As he gets nearer, Sergeant Warren's having trouble finding his footing without slipping down between the rocks. But at last he's landed. Adam helps Bunny slip the strop over the casualty's shoulders, and seconds later they're off and up to the helicopter. It won't be long before he's being treated in Bristol's Frenchay Hospital.
Rescue 169 from Quebec 99. We'll just hold this position so that the crewmen on the ground can be recovered as you depart.
In the meantime, they've got to get Adam back. He's now pretty cold himself, despite his dry suit. And he's got to get back across the rocks to the lifeboat.
By now the tide has turned and was falling away, so the spot we dropped him off at was no longer available. We did contemplate leaving him there, but we didn't think his family would appreciate it, so...
Port said Lifeboat, Swansea Coast Guard.
Swansea, stand by, manoeuvring near the rocks, stand by.
We're then looking at a suitable spot to come back in to pick him up, and I think that wasn't an easy task. It took a little while to get him back on board.
Getting back into the lifeboat was a bit of a leap of faith. It was slightly more than the 4 foot I climbed up to get there in the first place. I was starting to get a bit cold, and the adrenaline was there, and I just wanted to get back onto the boat, really.
With Adam safe, the lifeboat crew can head back up the coast to their base at Portishead, ready for the next shout.
Swansea from Quebec 99.
This lifeboat is paid for entirely by donations of local people, and the crew are always on standby in case of trouble on their patch, even if it's self-inflicted.
What these people don't understand is the Rescue 169, RAF helicopter, the police helicopter, Quebec 99, and ourselves. The cost, if an accountant would put it together, would be almost certainly in excess of £10,000. So, not a very responsible thing to do.
The casualty on the rocks has a lot to thank the locals for. We're hearing a lot of very dramatic 999 calls, but sometimes a call comes in which sparks off a major incident, which involves several emergency services and a special police unit. This incident support vehicle played a key role when one particular call came in.
Police control room.
Ah,
hello.
If you can help me.
Yeah.
I'm a regular walker along Western Shore in Southampton.
Yeah.
And I've spotted what appears to be possibly the tail fin of a bomb stuck out of the mud.
Oh, right. What colour is it?
Well, it's covered in mud and grime, but...
Or how big is it then, sir?
Well, it's about 10, 12 inches diameter.
10
it's
to 12
like a cylinder.
Diameter.
Yeah.
Cylinder shape, yeah?
Cylinder shape.
Right.
But it looks to me like the tail fin of either a bomb or a torpedo. Okay.
All right, leave it with us. We'll get somebody down there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
So there seems to be a bomb on the beach. How does a unit like this help out in a situation like that? Well, we can go inside and speak to Mark, who's manning it, who can tell us all about it and how it's used. It's actually, it's just like a mini control room, isn't it?
Yeah, just like that, yeah. Yeah, we've got everything in here that we would have upstairs in the control room, so it's pretty handy to be able to go out to a scene of something and have everything there and be amongst it all.
OK, so we've heard that there's a bomb, or potentially a bomb. We've had a bomb described. What's the first thing the police do?
Yeah, first thing we would have done is sent down one of the local units just to check that what the informant has described to us is actually there.
Right.
So we got an officer down to the scene, confirmed that, yes, it did look like a sort of World War II bomb. Our next step then is to call in the bomb disposal team.
And this unit?
And this unit, yeah. So basically we started mobilising this unit down to Western Shore, which is where the bomb was found, at the same time as calling the bomb disposal team, who all sort of arrived about the same time.
Do you want to pop in closer? Because what I'm going to do is show you the map. So the bomb disposal people, presumably you've got to clear people then to make it safe.
That's right, yeah. So they went down to look at the bomb, which was located around about here. They said whilst they're disposing of it, they'll need a 500-metre exclusion zone, so everyone that lived within this area...
The computer can put the size of 500 metres on there for you.
Exactly, so we can see who we need to evacuate.
OK. So they managed to get all of those people out. Did they clear it straight away?
Yeah, it took a while, first of all, to get everyone out, because we've got a couple of tower blocks here with hundreds of people living in there, so it's quite a big operation with lots of police officers. So that took a good couple of hours to get that sorted out.
And then did they get rid of the bomb?
Yeah, there was a few people that wanted to stay behind. They have to sign the officers' pocket notebooks to say that they've been given the warnings, but they want to stay. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they're allowed to do that if they want to.
And then what happened to the bomb?
Basically, they had to wait for high tide to drag it out of the sand and take it into the middle of Southampton water to safely defuse it. And they carried out a controlled explosion. So we saw the explosion in the water, sort of out further away from the shore, and safely did it, got rid of it.
At which point you can clear everything up and send the van back.
Get everyone back to their addresses.
Invaluable piece of kit like this, invaluable.
Yeah, really good, yeah.
Smashing, thanks very much.
I'm not going to disturb you if I interrupt you, am I?
No,
okay. Susie, you had a story as well about another kind of bomb. You had an anonymous tip-off into here just a few days ago. What went on?
It was anonymous tip-off to the press.
Right.
They obviously called us. Someone had reported that apparently there was 2 black boxes outside a hotel in Portsmouth. We got a special branch there, closed off the road, got the bomb detecting dogs down there also, and it ended up being one was an old television and one was a TV electrical box.
Which is a good thing, because it was all safe. We're going to meet one of those dogs later, actually. So what do? You find out the location on this screen, don't you? And then you've got, this shows you where all the police cars, does it?
Yes, at the moment there's a job here, so obviously if this was the emergency, say for instance this was the bomb job, we would see which is the nearest car there and obviously get the nearest car to the incident, which you can see here would be the van. Yeah. The van would be the first one they're all seeing.
And you can find out how fast they're going as well by clicking on them, can't you?
Yeah, we can kind of hover over them and it tells us obviously what they're doing.
This is stationary because it's at zero at the moment.
Yeah, it would tell us what they're doing.
And so you can see how quickly somebody would get there?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
I've just been told Natasha's got an update for me, so
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Natasha, are you okay to talk?
Yeah,
you've got a couple of updates. I understand something's going on at Highclere Castle. What's going on?
We've had a call again, unfortunately, another burglary that's occurred overnight. The occupants have found that the outhouses have been broken into. And at the moment, we've established that a quad bike's been stolen.
Yes.
And obviously police are going to be there shortly to start the investigation.
And there's quite a famous family that own that castle.
Yes, the Carnarvons, I believe, own the castle there. So
links with Tutankhamun and all the rest of it.
Yes.
Also, I'm really concerned about that elderly lady and the firework.
Okay.
Have you got an update on her?
Yes, we do have. The elderly lady, obviously, quite understandably, very distressed about what had happened. So the officers have had to call a member of the family in to give her a bit of support. And this afternoon, they're also going to send some of the safer neighbourhood officers round there to give her a bit more reassurance. And,
right, so very scary for her, wasn't it?
Quite honestly,
so firework went in through the letterbox?
Yes, it hit the porch area, so it caused a bit of damage. Fire brigade have been there just to assess it, to give it the all clear, so it's just patching things up now.
OK, well, I'm glad the family are on the way. Thank you.
OK,
thanks,
Natasha. Thank you.
Let you get on.
Yeah, lovely. I've just grabbed Neville before he went because I noticed that the uniform was changed. And how recently has this uniform changed?
Past few weeks.
Literally in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
This material is like sports material.
Yeah, like cycling shirts, yeah. Very
is that
good.
right?
Yeah, it's wicked material. It's very good. Under body armour, it's very, very cool. It's good stuff.
Well, that's the difficulty with the new body armour. You're carrying so much, aren't you, with the radios and...
handcuffs, CS gas, baton, fast wrap. Yeah, we've got so much stuff on our belts.
So how have the public reacted to this? Because...
generally it's gone down pretty well, I think. I mean, I'm sure that some people are stuck in the dark ages where they prefer us wearing capes and...
Well, we had Stephen King here just recently, who just retired, and he was given a cape.
Yeah, but this is very practical. For, driving cars all day, even on foot patrol, it's very practical.
It's quite sort of, 21st century, isn't it?
It's a big investment. It's very good.
Good. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much. I know you hold on for a second now. I know you need to get to work too.
Thanks very much.
All right. Thanks very much, Neville. Interesting, that, isn't it?
It's very smart.
Yeah. Joe Growley's been with us all week and working with different emergency services. You're going to taking a look today at someone, again, one we might not know so much about.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out in rapid response cars with paramedics, but a paramedic, or a type of paramedic I wasn't aware of, is the emergency care practitioner, or ECP.
And what do they do?
Well, basically, they can attend a scene, but they bring extra skills. They've got the ability to treat wounds in particular. They can even stitch people up in their own home, and that's particularly important for older people. Sometimes they slip in the bathroom or cut themselves, but it's not life-threatening.
Well, it's not only that. My mum, when she was older and becoming slightly confused, if you took her to hospital, she became uncomfortable. If you could treat her at home, she feels much more comfortable in her own environment, so that would work very well.
That's exactly it. They're very comfortable in their own home. These ECPs are very personable, keep them very calm, and if they went to hospital, they could be waiting for quite a long time because it's not a very severe injury, so it saves on A&E waiting time, it saves on ambulances, and it's perfect. And one couple that particularly stick in the mind are Fred and Iris. They've been married nearly 70 years, and they certainly won't let the odd fall or bump stop them enjoying life. Well, I'm in the rapid response vehicle with Mark. Mark's just had a call through for a male aged 90 who's fallen and cut his arm.
What we're told, he's got a skin flap on his arm.
A skin flap, okay.
And a large haematoma on his elbow. Hematoma being a very large blood-filled swelling.
Now, the call came through a little while ago, and a crew went to the scene, and they've assessed it and decided that Mark, as an ECP, an emergency care practitioner, can sort out the wound. The ambulance service tried to treat elderly people like 90-year-old Fred on the spot. A trip to hospital would be a stress in itself, but they need to be sure there are no hidden complications.
That's a good swelling. I like that. How painful is that if I push on there?
Not much, no.
Not much.
No.
So what happened at the time? What were you doing? Yeah, when this occurred.
Well,
right.
I think it was probably 5 o'clock, and I just had boiled eggs.
Yeah, I'll come and sit next to you. Yeah.
I boiled eggs for tea, which were on the dining room, getting very much cold, and just had done a pot of tea. I came in and said to old chap, "Come on now, it's tea time." So he went to stand up, you see, to come in the dining room, and I said, "You can't walk around like that, old chap, with your belt undone, your trousers will fall down, you'll have an accident." So there was I trying to tuck his shirt in his trousers, and he was holding onto the door handle. And what happened was, I just don't know. He's nothing but a walking disaster at the moment, I'm afraid.
So he fell and he took you down with him?
Yeah, I'm saying as we went down, you're taking me with you, and I could imagine I was going to hit that fan down there.
OK, what I want you to do now, Fred, is twist for me. As if you're holding a bowl of soup, that's it. Now back the other way. Further than I thought. Yep, absolutely fine. No problem at all.
He slipped in the shower on board ship 2 years ago, our last cruise.
Oh, no.
He's got a spinal fracture, and he always brings that into his conversation.
Were you a fan of going on cruises? Was that?
We loved cruising.
2 or 3 years.
Really?
We don't swim. We can't swim. We just love being on boats.
All right, then, Fred, what I'll do is I'll dress this wound. That's right, I'm not going to inject anything. I'm going to use this like a fire hose. That's nice and clean now. Just got to put it all back together.
We've had a lovely retirement, 25 years retirement.
25 years retirement?
The first cruise we did took us to so many places that we wanted. It makes you want to go back to them all. It fills in quite a few years, that does.
How does that feel, Fred?
All right.
Does it feel all right now? Yeah. Not too much pain?
No, none at all.
Has this been a good one for you?
As elbows go, this has been a wonderful one. He's got full range of movement. As you saw, we probably at the beginning asking him to do all the movements. The swelling appears to be a fluid just on the joint, which is wonderful. He's got, as I said before, full range of movement. There's no blood loss in there. Small skin flap. It's a result.
Great. Good news, Fred. So, Mark, Fred was a bit unlucky in that he fell over just before tea time, so he hasn't yet had his boiled eggs.
Yes.
But very lucky that he's not in A&E for the evening, because you were able to patch him up, and that seemed to go quite well.
Exactly. Yep. He's had a very long wait at A&E. I understand it's quite busy down there. He was a really good patient, and he done really well.
We've seen during this week they take all sorts of calls here at the control room, and they have a vast amount of experience of dealing with them, and sometimes it's actually their instincts that can save people's lives. Joe, you're all right to talk to me for a minute?
Yeah, that's fine.
You had a call from a lady who said she'd been threatened by her husband. He was on her way to her. She called you. What did she say?
She basically wanted to make us aware that if she should call later and couldn't speak, there was a reason behind it, due to her husband turning up.
OK, so she's obviously very worried at that point. But you didn't just leave it there, did you? You called. What happened?
We wanted to check because he was travelling, and we called her back to find out whether she had an update on where he could possibly be, so we could time it so we could be there.
Yeah.
When we called back, it was engaged. Didn't think much of it at first, and then we called back a few minutes later, still engaged, and just something wasn't sitting right.
And you felt funny, you felt a bit worried, did you? So you sent somebody round?
Yeah, we sent an officer round just to check that she was all right, to see if she'd heard anything, and it turned up her husband was actually at the address.
And I know there was a bit of a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
You had a knife, it was a bit of a kerfuffle. He ran away, and he was eventually found.
Yeah, he ran away. We had to put a containment on in the area with other officers and a dog unit. The dog unit actually tracked him and found him hiding under a car a couple of streets further down from where they were.
So your instinct kind of could have saved her life, actually.
Yeah, she did call in and speak to officers afterwards and said it could have been a lot worse if we hadn't gone and acted when we did.
What a fantastic story. Thank you very much. Nick, I gather, is with some friends outside, Nick.
Yes, do you like dogs? I'll tell you what the police do. They're very keen on them, aren't they? This is Ali, who looks after and works with dogs. I tell you, that's hot. Let's get one straight out.
Yep.
Let's meet Gemma, shall we? Who's like full of energy and bounce, and there she is, all ready to go, working straight away. What does Gemma do? What type of dog is she? Because they have different roles, don't they?
Yeah, it's police dog Gemma. She's what we call, she's a German Shepherd dog initially. She's what we call a general purpose patrol dog. So she'll track people following a scent on the ground. She'll also search for people using the airborne scent. When she finds a scent of a person who's hiding or out in the open, she'll bark at them, and she'll remain barking at them. She won't bite them. She'll just bark at them until I join her, and then I can deal with the person that we find.
Give me an example of someone that she's found in a difficult situation.
A while back, we got a call up to a woods up near a place called Wickham. There was a Cub Scout camp up there, and one of the young lads had gone missing from his tent. He'd been gone potentially for about 2 hours by the time I got there. It was getting too dark. It was in the winter time. Fortunately, we had a sighting of where he'd gone off, so I sent Gemma out to open search for the person. Within about 20 minutes, I heard her barking in the distance, so I ran up and we managed to find the little lad who'd got himself into some undergrowth and doing whatever Cub Scouts do. Lovely, thank you very much. That's great. I'll tell you what, pop Gemma back, because we also want to meet Zuka, don't we? And he's a different type of dog. Also, I'll ask you a question whilst you're putting him away and getting the other one out. Presumably if you're running away from a dog, because a public order dog and also a tracking dog for a criminal who's trying to get away, if you're lobbing bits of steak or meat out, presumably she's going to lose interest. No, they're just going to ignore that. They'll ignore that. They'll be concentrating purely on either the person running away or the scent that they're following. Okay. She won't be distracted by food or anything like that. Let's meet Zuka. Come on, son. So what does Zuka do? Look, much calmer. Yeah, he's a bit of a hippie. He's 7 years old Labrador. He's what we call a proactive drugs and firearms search dog. He's trained to find specific scent where the drugs are concerned. It's cannabis, heroin, ecstasy, all those sorts of things. And also you're trained to find firearms and ammunition as well. Well, see, that's the thing, you see. Now, these dogs, you live with these dogs, they become your friends and your colleagues, and I mean, you obviously love them, we can see that. What happens, though, when you have to send a dog at somebody who's armed with the knowledge that they might be shot? Could happen, potentially could happen, and that's just the thing that we have to deal with at the time. We must never lose sight of the fact of why the dogs are here. The dogs are here part of my... sounds callous, part of my equipment or a tool for the job. They're police dogs. And Gemma potentially could be sent on a man armed with a knife or a gun. She could potentially lose her life for protection of the public. Okay, and you have an expression that you like to describe these animals as, don't you? Gemma and Zuka are my canine crime-fighting superheroes. And very beautiful, very, very friendly animals they are. And the other thing about these is, because we've been talking about planes and helicopters, bad weather, they can't get out. Dogs can work 24/7. We can work with a plane, can't work. All weathers. Lovely, and very nice to meet them, and lovely. I hope you keep yourself safe whilst you're at work, all right? You take care. How fascinating to meet them. Thank you very much. Back to you, Louisa, and I'm going to stay out here with the dogs, if that's all right. I want to come and meet that dog in a minute. Just as we speak, actually, there's a rescue going on at the moment. Karen, who we spoke to earlier, is dealing with a teenager who's got their foot stuck in a manhole. I understand that firefighters and ambulance are on the scene right now. That's it for Real Rescues. Next week will be one of the biggest ambulance control centres in the country. See you then. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.